There was a bit on the line in that game today. You went in second place and they were third, and both in pretty good form. So to come away with a good win like that must be pleasing.
Yeah, look, I thought we were, especially after quarter time, I thought we were, pretty consistent for the rest of the game. A few things we needed to tinker with at quarter time, because it was, we thought they probably scored a bit easy in the first quarter. So we thought we fixed that up after quarter time, and we were pleased.
They were a couple down after half-time, certainly. I think Schofield didn't play after quarter time, and then Semelko. So in warm conditions like today, a couple of players down with rotations, it's a big loss.
Yeah, it is, and I think we lost Sondo just after half-time as well. So it was a hot day, and both teams were low on rotation. So to have the win, and I thought we controlled the game for the most part, and certainly in the second half. So that it was a good result for us.
Brock Higgins to back up after the state game last week, which was so good for WA, but he was terrific out there today. He had 38 hit-outs, I think, and gave lots of opportunities for your mids.
Yeah, and it was a big challenge, McInnes has been a really important player for him. So, Brock was pretty good for us. Gave us first use, and he was a good player. So it was fantastic for him to play state footy. He's been a great servant for us, and he's a really consistent player. So it's great to see him rewarded.
He's been a Bulldog for a while now, but prior to that, East Perth. Does he fire up especially for East Perth games? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of. He's been a Bulldog ever since I've been here. So look, he fronts up just about every week and be one of our most consistent players.
What about down back? They had a couple of dangerous key forwards, and Noah Strong again. There's been a lot of talk about Jared Brander sort of being the future West Coast forward moving forward, but he clearly got the point in that battle.
Yeah, and it's hard for a young kid getting drafted, moving away from home, and he's had a pretty good start, Brander. So look, I thought Noah was good. I think he's building. It's been fantastic. Really got an opportunity. Unfortunately, Zach was really crook, and he got his opportunities, and he's really grabbed it. So he continues to improve, which was good. As does Chad Pearson playing down there, another young player, and they're really growing. So it's important for us.
So he took Zach's spot in the side pretty much, brother for brother.
Well, at the time he did, because he was fit and Zach was really sick. So Zach came in last week for us out of necessity, really. We lost a couple of blokes late in the week, and he's still underdone, and he knows that, and that was part of the discussion about missing out this week. It's nothing really about Zach's form. It was about trying to get Zach back to his best, and he's getting close to that.
Speaking of back to best, Shane Hockey's been pretty consistent in recent weeks, getting back to his form from a couple of years ago where he was club champion.
Yeah, look, really going well. So our mix in there's changed a bit. Thought Marlon Pickett, has been able to give us something. Thought our skipper Dylan Mayne was super. I think he had 14 tackles, 9 in the first half, and around those, obviously, you've got Schleuthy and Hamsey and these sort of guys that can also go through there. So we think our midfield depth is okay, but we always like to continue to build. The more you can get through there, the more options you've got.
You mentioned it there, but I thought it was the hardness in the midfield with the guys like Pickett and Mayne and Hockey especially, that as much when they didn't have the footy, how much pressure they put on was just as important as what they did with the ball.
Yeah, and I thought our forwards did a great job too to put on pressure, and then our mids, which makes it easier for your defenders and makes it easier to stop the opposition scoring. But I think they maybe only had low 30s for inside 50s for the day, and that makes it pretty hard to kick a winning score.
How pleasing is it when you put that pressure on and you force a turnover as well, and then going back the other way, you can be so clinical and really make them pay when they turn the ball over too?
Yeah, look, we were much better today, consistently. Probably the last 3 quarters we were pretty happy. So, again, still got some really young guys, Dan Cabassi and Donaldson playing forward, and their work rate was really strong. Matty Parker as well. And then you obviously got, Shorey and Dell and Hamsey and Saundo when he was there that were able to have an impact too. So we think we've got a nice blend of youth, and you obviously got a couple to come back. So, yeah, it's pleasing.
Couple of tough calls of decision at selection table too, and Steve Airy would have been really happy with how he responded.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So, third in our best and fairest a couple of years ago, and no luck last year with injuries. So, we know that at his best he's in our team, and it was just an opportunity just to go back and lead and get his hands on the ball, and he responded as we expected. He's selfless and played really well.
So much is said about contested footy. Are you pleased with the boys' desire and hunger?
Yeah, look, I thought it was pretty warm. It was a pretty physical game around the contest. I thought we tackled pretty well. So yeah, it was pleasing.
Ben Saunders has been sore now for a little while. Does he need a break now, or are you hoping that he could get up still for next week?
Don't know, so we just got to wait and see. He experienced some awareness, so he came off. So he'll probably see how he pulls up tomorrow, and we'll go from there. So, but no risk if he's not available and can't play. He's had a couple of scares. There'll be no risk taken.
Is that hamstring tightness? I think it cost him a spot in the state game. That the Swans game, he was off for a lot of the second half.
Yeah,
or on and off.
pretty similar. Probably only played a half then as well. So, and had some awareness, and then different spot today, but to still be there. So, we'll assess it. Yeah.
Yep.
Claremont next week, they're struggling a little bit, but you know Darren Harris very well. I'm sure he'll have them up and about next week for you.
Yeah, and look, he knows us really well. So obviously spent some time with us as a club while he wasn't coaching, so he knows our guys pretty well. But it's a great challenge for us again. You know, if we want to be a good side in the comp, it doesn't matter who you come up against. You need to prepare and play well. So we'll get back on the track, train well, work on a few more things that we think we need to get better at.
Thanks, Tess.